Introducing the Current Affairs Workbook. It is an activity-driven learning comprising summaries, quick facts, MCQs, true-false statements, mains practice questions, and ethics case studies, consolidated into a comprehensive workbook. Dive into our monthly magazine summary, a concise overview capturing key insights, events, and trends of the month. Unlock the power of our Quick Facts block, your rapid reference toolkit with essential facts, figures, and critical statistics. Experience our dynamic activities like MCQs and true-false statements to subjective questions and ethics case studies that refine your analytical thinking and articulation skills. Track your progress with our dedicated self-evaluation page, your personal growth monitoring and improvement tool.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News Today. Without delay, let's have a look at the headlines first. Nepal and China signed Belt and Road Initiative or BRI Cooperation Framework. ISRO launches PSLV C-59 rocket with European Space Agency's Proba-3 satellites. UGC draft minimum standards of instruction for the grant of UG and PG regulations 2024 released. Centre approved 2 startups in the field of technical textiles. Economic Advisory Council to the PM published Working Paper on Female Labour Force Participation or LFPR. International Advisory Body for Submarine Cable Resilience launched. In a major development, Nepal and China have signed a cooperation framework for the Belt and Road Initiative or BRI. This framework is expected to pave the way for the implementation of BRI projects in Nepal, which became a part of the BRI in 2017. Under this agreement, both countries have committed to developing the Trans-Himalayan Connectivity Network or THM-DCN, with a focus on improving infrastructure in sectors such as roads, railways, aviation, and power grids. It's worth noting that Pakistan and Sri Lanka are also part of the BRI. Now, let's take a deeper look at the BRI itself. The Belt and Road Initiative, initially launched as the One Belt, One Road in 2013, seeks to connect Asia with Africa and Europe through both land and maritime networks. The initiative's main goal is to improve regional integration, increase trade, and stimulate economic growth. The BRI comprises 2 key components: the Silk Road Economic Belt, a transcontinental passage, and the Maritime Silk Road, a sea route linking the continents. However, the BRI has raised several concerns, particularly for India. One of the key concerns is security. Nepal shares a long land border of about 1,700 kilometers with India, acting as a buffer zone between the 2 countries. Chinese infrastructure projects in the region could potentially make border areas more vulnerable, especially in the case of conflict. For instance, the construction of a Chinese-funded airport in Pokhara, located in close proximity to the Indian border, has raised alarms. Another major concern is China's growing regional influence. As China strengthens its economic influence in Nepal, it could push the country to align politically with China, weakening India's influence in the region. This is considered as part of China's string of pearls strategy, which aims to encircle India with Chinese-friendly nations. Additionally, there are concerns that influence over Nepal may be exercised by using debt trap diplomacy by China. On the economic front, India's trade relations with Nepal could also be impacted. Currently, India is Nepal's largest trade partner, with significant investments in cross-border energy trade. Moving ahead, ISRO has successfully launched the PSLV C-59 rocket, carrying the European Space Agency's Proba-3 satellites into space. The vehicle carried Proba-3 spacecraft into a highly elliptical orbit as a dedicated commercial mission of New Space India Limited or NSIL. It was launched from the Satish Dhawan Space Centre or STSC SHAR in Sriharikota. This launch marks a significant milestone as it is the first launch by the European Space Agency or ESA from India since the Proba-1 mission in 2001. The Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle or PSLV is a third-generation launch vehicle. It is a 4-stage vehicle with multiple satellite launch capability and multiple orbit capability. Now, let's take a closer look at the Proba 3 mission itself. Proba 3 is an in-orbit demonstration or IOD mission aimed at observing the Sun's corona through an innovative satellite formation flight. It is the world's first precision formation flying mission where two satellites will fly together, maintaining a fixed configuration. The focus of formation flying is to maintain a targeted orbit configuration. It consists of coronagraph spacecraft or CSC and occulter spacecraft or OSC. Now, what are the benefits of commercial space launches for India? India currently holds 2 to 3% of the global space economy, and commercial satellite launches are contributing significantly to revenue generation. As of 2022, India generated over $279 million from the launch of foreign satellites. Beyond revenue, these commercial satellite launches also enhance India's soft power, as they can be leveraged in the geopolitical sphere by fostering strong diplomatic ties. The launches may facilitate technology transfer, etc. New Space India Limited, set up by the Department of Space in 2019, plays a crucial role in driving ISRO's commercial activities. Its primary responsibility is to help Indian industries in taking up high technology, space-related activities while enabling ISRO to focus on future space activities. Several key initiatives are helping to enhance India's commercial launch capabilities, including the establishment of InSpace, Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center, the Indian Space Policy 2023, and the promotion of private space startups and industries like Skyroot Aerospace and Agnikul Cosmos. The development of the Small Satellite Launch Vehicle or SSLV is also set to boost India's role in the global space industry.
Ahead, let's dive into a significant development in the realm of higher education in India. The University Grants Commission or UGC has unveiled the draft of the Minimum Standards of Instruction for the Grant of Undergraduate and Postgraduate Degrees Regulations 2024. This draft, prepared under the University Grants Commission Act 1956, marks a pivotal step towards aligning India's higher education system with global standards, while staying true to the principles of inclusivity and adaptability as envisioned in the National Education Policy 2020. Now, let's take a closer look at the major changes proposed under these regulations. To begin with, the draft proposes biannual admissions, enabling higher education institutes to admit students twice a year. Moving on, students will now have the flexibility to pursue disciplines of their choice, irrespective of the subjects they opted for in their 12th grade. Admissions will be based on a national or university-level entrance examination. Adding to this, the draft introduces recognition of prior learning, a mechanism where students can gain admission based on their learning experience outside formal education, such as training at workplaces or within the community, provided they pass an assessment. Now let's talk about the credit structure. Under the proposed framework, students must earn at least 50% of their credits from their chosen discipline, while the remaining 50% can come from skill courses and apprenticeships. But that's not all. The draft also proposes the opportunity to pursue 2 UG or PG programs simultaneously, offering flexibility to change disciplines, institutions, or modes of learning. Next, multiple entry and exit options, which allow learners to pause and resume their studies based on their circumstances. And importantly, it outlines standard operating procedures for the Accelerated Degree Program or ADP and the Extended Degree Program or EDP under the National Credit Framework. Now, what exactly are Accelerated Degree Program and Extended Degree Program? Both programs maintain the same curriculum, total credits, examination and evaluation systems as standard degree programs. However, the duration differs. Under ADP and EDP, only duration of degree changes with same curriculum content, total credits, examination and evaluation system for the program. It's worth noting that these options are available only at the undergraduate level and must be opted for at the end of the first or second semester. Moreover, students on joining ADP will be earning more credits per semester, while in EDP, they will earn fewer credits per semester compared to standard duration.
Moving ahead, in a significant move to promote innovation in the field of technical textiles, the National Technical Textile Missions Empowered Program Committee has approved 2 startups under the GRADE scheme. This initiative aims to foster growth and technological advancement within this specialized industry. In addition to this, the committee has also granted approval to 6 educational institutions to introduce courses in technical textiles under the General Guidelines for Enabling of Academic Institutes in Technical Textiles. Now, let's take a closer look at what technical textiles are and their growing importance. Technical textiles are textile materials and products primarily designed for their technical performance and functional properties, rather than their aesthetic or decorative characteristics. These textiles are manufactured using both natural and man-made fibers, such as Nomex, Kevlar, and spandex. They find applications across a wide range of sectors, including agriculture, sports, health, packaging, construction, and aerospace. In India, technical textiles have emerged as a sunrise sector. The market is growing at an impressive rate of 8 to 10% per annum. In 2021-2022, it was valued at $21.95 billion, making India the fifth largest market for technical textiles globally. This sector accounts for approximately 13% of India's total textile and apparel market and contributes to India's GDP at 0.7%. Export potential is also on the rise. India's exports of technical textile products grew by 28.4% from $2.21 billion in 2020-21 to $2.85 billion in 2021-2022. On the agriculture front, agrotextiles used in horticulture are enhancing farm productivity by 2 to 5 times, while also reducing water consumption by 30 to 45% and fertilizer usage by 25 to 30%. To further promote innovation and research, the government has introduced several initiatives. One such initiative is the Grant for Research and Entrepreneurship across Aspiring Innovators in Technical Textiles or GRADE scheme. This program aims to accelerate the development of new technologies, products, and processes, significantly contributing to growth and sustainability of the technical textiles industry. It provides financial support and resources to researchers, startups, and entrepreneurs working on groundbreaking projects in the field. Other initiatives include the National Technical Textiles Mission and the PM Mega Integrated Textile Regions and Apparel Parks or MITRA scheme, which are set to provide further momentum to the sector's growth.
Moving ahead, let's look at a significant publication by the Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister, the working paper on female labour force participation based on data from the Periodic Labour Force Survey conducted between 2017-18 and 2022-23. This analysis offers a detailed look at the trends, factors, and regional dynamics of women's participation in the workforce. To understand the findings, let's first define Labour Force Participation Rate or LFPR, which refers to the percentage of employed and unemployed individuals who are either seeking or available for work, measured against the total population aged 15 years and above. The report highlights that female LFPR has increased in nearly all states, though the growth patterns vary. Rural areas saw a remarkable surge from 24.6% to 41.5%, representing a growth of nearly 69%. Urban areas, however, showed a more modest increase, with the LFPR rising from 20.4% to 25.4%, marking a growth of 25%. Regionally, states like Jharkhand and Bihar recorded significant progress, whereas regions such as Goa and Lakshadweep reported minor declines in rural female LFPR. Age also plays a critical role in these trends, with female LFPR displaying a bell-shaped curve, rising during the period of 20 to 30 years, peaking between 30 to 40 years and sharply declining thereafter. In contrast, male LFPR remains consistently high, close to 100%, during the ages of 30 to 50 and declines gradually as they age. Another factor significantly affecting women's workforce participation is marriage, but decline is much higher in urban areas compared to rural areas. Similarly, the presence of children under the age of 14 impacts young women's LFPR, with the effects being more pronounced in urban settings, especially for women aged 20 to 35. To address these challenges, several initiatives have been introduced to boost female participation in the labour force. Programs such as Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana and Stand Up India are empowering women entrepreneurs. Efforts to promote women in STEM fields include initiatives like Women in Science and Engineering, Kiran, and Sir Power, which aim to promote opportunities for women in research and technology. Additionally, skilling programs like the Namo Drone Didi initiative are equipping women self-help groups with drone technology, while industrial training institutes focus on enhancing vocational skills. In a major step towards securing the backbone of global connectivity, the International Telecommunication Union and the International Cable Protection Committee have jointly launched the International Advisory Body for Submarine Cable Resilience. Let's first dive into the details of this newly formed advisory body. The primary aim of the body is to strengthen the resilience of submarine cables, which are vital for international data exchange. This is especially critical considering the frequent damage to these cables, with an average of 150 to 200 faults reported globally each year. The body will focus on promoting best practices among governments and industries to improve cable resilience, reducing damage risk. Additionally, it will provide strategic guidance to address issues such as growing data traffic, aging infrastructure, and environmental threats. Comprised of 40 members, including ministers, heads of regulatory authorities, industry executive, and experts, this advisory body is co-chaired by Nigeria and Portugal and will meet at least twice a year. Now, for those wondering, what are submarine cables? Submarine cables are fiber optic cables laid under the ocean, connecting two or more landing points. India is a key player in the global submarine cable network as it hosts 17 international submarine cables across 14 landing stations in cities like Mumbai and Chennai. These cables are critical as they form the backbone of the global digital economy, carrying over 99% of international data exchange and enables critical services like commerce, financial transactions across the globe. To provide some context, let's look at the organizations behind this initiative. Firstly, the International Telecommunication Union, headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland, was established in 1865 and serves as the UN's specialized agency for information and communication technologies. It facilitates international connectivity in communication networks, allocating global radio spectrum and satellite orbits, and has 194 member countries, including India. On the other hand, the International Cable Protection Committee, founded in 1958, acts as a global forum for governments and businesses in the submarine cable industry. Its primary objective is to improve undersea cable security by sharing technical, legal, and environmental insights. In today's Place in News, we'll discuss Slovenia with its capital Ljubljana. It is in news as India and Slovenia announced a 5-year plan to strengthen their scientific and technological collaboration in various areas. If we talk about its political features, it is a country located in Central Europe. It shares its boundaries with Austria in the north, Hungary to its far northeast, Croatia to the east, southeast and south, and Italy to the west and southwest. Moreover, it has a coastline along the Gulf of Venice. If we talk about its geographical features, majorly its terrain consists largely of karstic plateaus and ridges, magnificently precipitous alpine peaks and more. Its major rivers include Sava, a tributary of the Danube, Drava and Mura, etc. And lastly, its highest point is Mount Triglav.
As we conclude today's main news, let's have a look at some quick updates. The Business for Land Forum at COP16 of UNCCD highlights the private sector's key role in promoting sustainable land use. UNCCD, or United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, 1994, is a sole legally binding international agreement linking environment and development to sustainable land management. The Union Minister of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution launched the Anna Chakra PDS Supply Chain Optimization Tool and Scan Portal to modernize the PDS system. Anna Chakra is a public distribution system supply chain optimization tool that leverages advanced algorithms to identify optimal routes and ensure seamless movement of food grains. The third Copernicus Sentinel-1 satellite was recently launched on a Vega C rocket from French Guiana. Copernicus program is the European Union's Earth Observation Program, coordinated by the European Commission in partnership with the European Space Agency or ESA, EU member states and other EU agencies. Hornbill Festival has completed 25 years of its celebration. Nagaland government has organized it every year since 2000. Hornbill Festival is named after the hornbill, a bird highly admired and revered by the Nagas for its qualities of alertness and grandeur. It is called a festival of festivals and it encourages inter-tribal interaction. The post of Chief Commissioner for Persons with Disabilities or CCPD has remained vacant for over 5 years now. CCPD was originally set up under the Persons with Disabilities, Equal Opportunities, Protection of Rights and Full Participation Act 1995. Indian Farmers Fertilizer Cooperative Limited has developed a new product, Nano NPK fertilizer. It contains nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium in nanoparticle form. It will facilitate better nutrient uptake by plants, reduce nutrient wastage and also lower fertilizer requirement. The Parliament passed the Bharatiya Vayuyan Vidheyak 2024. The bill seeks to remove redundancies and replace the Aircraft Act 1934, which has been amended 21 times. The bill focuses on enhancing safety, regulatory oversight, and consumer protection while aligning with international standards. World Health Organization or WHO has granted pre-qualification to molecular diagnostic test for tuberculosis called Expert MTB RIF Ultra. The test is the first to meet WHO's pre-qualification standards for TB diagnosis and antibiotic susceptibility testing. Before we sign off, let's challenge your understanding in today's installment of Test Your Learning. Thank you for joining us. We hope you found this episode of News Today engaging. For the solutions to the quiz and to access the PDF version of News Today, remember to visit the provided links in the description below.